All right, today we're jumping into one of the most fascinating figures in Hindu mythology, Lord Dattatreya. We're talking about a deity who isn't just one god, but three, all rolled into one, and whose greatest teacher was, believe it or not, the world itself. Let's get into it.
So, to really get a handle on what makes him so special, let's start with a pretty wild question. What if a single divine being could represent the entire cycle of the universe? Creation, preservation, and destruction, all at the same time. It's a truly mind-bending idea, and it's the absolute core of who Lord Dattatreya is.
And here he is. Dattatreya is that very being. He's this incredible sage and guru who is also a living, breathing incarnation of the divine. He actually chose to renounce the world when he was young, but not to get away from it. No, he did it to understand it on the deepest level imaginable.
And honestly, the best place to start trying to understand him is with his amazing appearance. Every single detail, from his 3 faces all the way to his 6 hands, tells a part of a much, much bigger cosmic story.
Okay, so at his very heart, Dattatreya is a single, unified form of the Hindu Supreme Trinity, the Trimurti. He isn't just representing one of these cosmic forces. He is all 3 of them, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, all combined into one avatar.
And his image just lays it all out so perfectly. He's usually shown with 3 heads and 6 hands. And as you can see, each pair of hands is holding the famous symbols of one of the gods. You've got Vishnu's conch and discus for preservation, Shiva's drum and trident for destruction, and Brahma's rosary and water pot for creation. It's basically a visual map of the entire cosmic cycle, all held by just one being.
So you might be wondering, how does a being like this even come to exist? Well, his origin story is every bit as remarkable as his form.
His story starts with his parents, the great sage Atri and his wife, Anasuya. Now, Anasuya wasn't just any woman. She was famous all over for her incredible purity. In fact, her name literally means one who is free from envy, and her devotion, well, it was about to face the ultimate test.
So get this, the Trinity themselves, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, decided they had to test her famous virtue. They show up at her home disguised as saints and make an impossible request, that she serve them a meal while completely naked. But instead of refusing, Anasuya taps into the immense power of her own devotion. She sprinkles water on the 3 gods and poof, transforms them into helpless babies. She then serves them just as they asked, but as a mother would. It was only when their wives showed up begging for their husbands back that she changed them back, but not before she was granted one wish, that the Trinity would be born as her son. And that's exactly how Dattatreya, the combined avatar, came to be.
This incredible birth put Dattatreya on a path to enlightenment that was totally unique, a path where he wouldn't need a traditional teacher at all.
You see, unlike so many other sages, Dattatreya didn't go looking for some famous master to study under. Instead, he became a wanderer, a monk who found wisdom not in ancient books or in ashrams, but by simply paying really close attention to the world all around him.
He ended up having 24 gurus, or teachers, and none of them were in temples. They were all around him. This was a pretty radical idea, completely flipping the whole master-student relationship on its head. From the earth, for example, he learned about patience. From a python, he learned to be content with whatever came his way. He even learned a powerful lesson about the dangers of attachment from a family of pigeons. For him, the entire universe was his classroom.
And this is really the key takeaway from his philosophy. Wisdom is literally everywhere. It's out there for anyone who's willing to just stop and look. He shows us that enlightenment isn't some big secret passed down from a master. It's something you can discover all by yourself, right here in the world around you.
But Dattatreya wasn't just some quiet philosopher. Oh no. Ancient texts are full of incredible stories about his divine power and how he stepped into the world of gods and demons.
In one famous story, a demon king named Jamba takes over the heavens, and the gods have to run to Dattatreya for help. When the demon's army shows up, they see the goddess Lakshmi, and in their arrogance, they try to kidnap her. But Dattatreya doesn't fight them with weapons. He just calmly explains that with that one immoral act, they had just drained themselves of all their power. The now weakened gods then easily defeated the demons. Dattatreya's point was proven. Real power and righteousness go hand in hand.
But his power wasn't only for stopping evil. He also granted some pretty unbelievable boons. Take the story of King Kartavirya Arjuna.
This king performed intense penance just to please him. When Dattatreya finally offered him anything he wanted, the king asked for 1,000 arms to become an unbeatable warrior. And Dattatreya, seeing his devotion, just granted the wish.
Okay, so now that we've seen his power and his philosophy, let's circle back to his image and decode some of the other powerful symbols that are always with him.
You'll almost always see Dattatreya with 4 dogs, but these are not just any dogs, they're powerful symbols. They represent the 4 Vedas, the foundational holy books of Hinduism, and the 4 paths of yoga. Having them there shows that he is the absolute master of all sacred knowledge and spiritual practice.
A wish-fulfilling cow, known as Kamadhenu, is also usually standing with him. She is a symbol of Mother Earth herself, representing abundance, nourishment, the whole shebang. Her presence basically means that anyone who follows the path of Dharma, the right path, will have everything they need provided for them.
And finally, that trident, the Trishula, Shiva's famous emblem. This is way more than just a weapon. Its 3 prongs represent his mastery over the 3 states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, and that deep, dreamless sleep. It's a symbol that he has total control over his mind and exists in a reality beyond the everyday illusions that the rest of us experience.
So when you boil it all down, Dattatreya's story is this powerful reminder that divinity, that wisdom, it isn't hiding in some other realm. It's woven right into the fabric of the world all around us, which leaves us with a final thought to take with you. If you decided to follow his path and treat nature as your teacher, what do you think would be the very first lesson it has for you?